Hello. Welcome back to my loyals, new subscribers, and the visitors. So, girl, you see the title, so you already know what's popping, okay? Now, the tea that I thought I was gonna bring today, it was hot, but the tea that I'm bringing, oh, honey, it's piping hot, okay? Now, last night, early morning, NeNe was, posting receipts, dropping text messages between her and Yavana, okay? And the reason why she was dropping these text messages between her and Yavana is because apparently when NeNe learned that Yavana was going to be on the reunion, she decided not to come back to film, right? And people were speculating that NeNe had made up this whole story about having recordings on Cynthia through Yavana. But that's not the case. And Yavana went on the sister circle and tried to play it off like, oh, that was a made up story, whatever, like that. And so that fell back on NeNe like, oh, so you conspired to make up a fake story knowing that you don't really have recordings, you don't really have audio of Cynthia talking trash about you. So NeNe started dropping these receipts. And girl, thank God I took a screenshot, because when I went back to see if NeNe had dropped any more receipts, all the receipts was gone. And that's one of my pet peeves. I do not like when people do that post and delete. Because when you post and delete, it makes me feel like you're not really confident about what you're posting. So I was like, see, NeNe, this ain't really NeNe. You know what I'm saying? This is not really NeNe behavior to be dropping some stuff and then taking it back. But lo and behold, when I woke up this morning, I did get a notification from NeNe's YouTube channel, and that's where she decided to spill all the beans. And she said she's gonna keep on spilling them week after week, and I'm gonna be right here on my channel giving you the recap of what she's spilling week after week, okay? So basically, NeNe feels like the reunion was unfair. She feels like the reunion was one-sided. It was all the heat, all the pressure was on her. And she feels like from the beginning, they tried to throw her off. Now, in the beginning, NeNe said that she was asked, what color is she going to wear to the reunion? And NeNe said, you know what, I think I'm gonna wear white. And she was told there are two other women that are considering wearing white. And NeNe is a woman like myself. I like to be different. So if I hear that two other women are wearing white, I'm not gonna wear white. So NeNe said, okay, well, I'll probably wear pink or royal blue. And they were like, okay, fine. So NeNe settled on wearing black sequins. So when it was time to film, all of the girls were wearing white. And NeNe felt like, okay, this is odd. I was only told that two girls were considering wearing white, but all of the girls are wearing white, and I'm sitting here in this black sequence looking like a villain. So NeNe said, you know what, before I jump the gun, let me call the other two girls that are not on the platform right now, which was Marlo and Tanya, and let me ask them what color they're wearing. When NeNe reached out to the two women, they said they're wearing white. So NeNe was like, okay, I see what's going on. So she was like, you know what, let me reach out to Greg and let me reach out to my friend and ask them what I should do. Both Greg and her friend both told her, you need to change. You need to change, because they playing games. They making you look bad. They're trying to pinpoint you. You need to change. So NeNe said, you know what, I really don't want to change. And Greg was like, you need to change. And I get it. As women, it takes time to coordinate an outfit. You need the right hair. You need the right fit. You need the right lip color. So when you have to rush and change unexpectedly, that could really ruin a woman's day. Like, I hate being rushed. I hate last minute shit. Like, I can totally understand why she was frustrated, but she still decided to change into white. So NeNe said off the rip, they started drilling her, like drilling her hard, like coming at her. She was getting all the heat, all the focal point was on her, and she didn't understand because all these other women throughout the season were saying that they're the most interesting, they're the most popping, they carried the show, but yet NeNe is the only person that they seem to have interest in. So she felt like, put some heat on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And I totally agree. If it's an ensemble cast, every castmate should get their lick. It shouldn't just be NeNe getting lick after lick after lick. Every woman should get their lick, right? But that didn't happen. So NeNe said eventually she was just like, is there anybody else on the show? Is there anybody else that y'all can question? So she said when she did that, they gave her an hour of peace, and she was content with that. So she said, you know, the way that the cast was set up at the time, it was kind of uneven because Kenya had all this support and she didn't really have that much support. She really just had Portia. So she wanted them to let Tanya and Marlo chime in so she could have more support. And what she noticed was that the ladies allowed Tanya and Marlo to speak, but anytime NeNe wanted to speak, they just overtalked her and was drilling her. Then NeNe said they was asking her questions that were irrelevant to the season. They were asking her about her relationship and her fallout with Wendy Williams. They were asking her about why she went on her YouTube channel and called out Bravo for only giving Candy spinoffs. And so she was like, these questions have nothing to do with the season. Why am I being asked this, right? So then she said, you know, she decided to go take a bathroom break. She closed the computer down. And when she looked at her phone, somebody had told her, I think Yvonne is going to be on the show. And NeNe said that that's very uncommon, that people who are not contracted aren't usually on the reunion. The only people that are not contracted that are on the reunion are like the husbands and the boyfriends, but not just some sideline person, except for the therapist, Dr. Jeff. So she didn't understand why Yvonne was given spotlight to be on the reunion when she's not contracted, and she felt like it was just another way to try to hammer on her. And so she decided, I'm not going to come back to film because I'm not going to deal with this. It's not fair. Now, what NeNe said is, you know, I don't have no issue with being chastised and being criticized, but what I have an issue with is, why am I the only one that's being criticized and chastised? She said, why wasn't the cookie lady invited? Why wasn't Mark Daly invited? Why wasn't Todd invited to talk about his issues that he has with Candy? She said, why wasn't Eva's bridesmaids invited to talk about how Eva is broke and wearing other people's shoes? Why is it just her? And then NeNe made a point to say, you know, when you've had a friend for 10 years, and even though y'all might not be on the best terms, she felt like it was very disappointing that Cynthia sat there and allowed these women to degrade her, down talk her, bring up all these misconceptions about her, and not speak up once to at least give her experience with NeNe, which is not all of that. And I completely understand that. And, you know, this is my thing with NeNe. Well, before I get into that, let me talk about Yvonne. So NeNe was like, you know what? I'm not the type of person to do all that exposing type of stuff. But she was like, you know, I told Yvonne, I'm not going to F you if you don't F me. But once you F me, then I'm going to F you, right? And she was like, you know, Yvonne did record Cynthia and other women that were on the show. And Yvonne sent her the evidence. But the issue is that Yvonne's husband didn't want to deal with the backlash of his wife secretly recording people because it's not a good look. Recording people without their knowledge is one of the lamest things you could do. It's very deceptive. It implies that you have bad intentions from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And so I totally get why Yvonne was trying to backpedal from it. But girl, you already did it. You already did it. So don't be a double. Don't be a double liar. Like, don't do that. Like, you already recorded, but yet you're gonna lie about recording. Like, don't double doozy it. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. But NeNe is like, why are all these women having an issue with me? Like, why are they constantly having an issue with me? And a lot of people don't understand why NeNe is always being attacked, and you know, there's all this animosity and disdain towards her from some women on the show, mostly Candy, Kenya, and there in the past it was Kim and it was Sheree. And this is what it is, right? This is what it is. When you succeed people's expectations of you and they really don't rock with you, they're always going to have a problem with you, right? If people only expected you to be a drug dealer and you end up being an attorney, the people that was in your life when you was a drug dealer and was comfortable with you being a drug dealer, now that you're an attorney, they're gonna have an issue with you. People who only expected you to be a baby mama and work a 9-to-5 gig, work at McDonald's or whatever like that, and you succeed there, you go to nursing school and you become a nurse and you find a good man and you get married, the people that was really not rocking with you is gonna have an issue with you. So what I feel about NeNe is that from the beginning, because I've been watching this show since the inception, that's why I like talking about it, because I know all the history, so it's just easy. From the beginning, I think there was a expectation of NeNe, and the fact that she blew up and became a fan favorite and became a household name in the entertainment industry altogether. That's why some of these women have an issue with her, because they didn't expect a woman like NeNe to be what she is today. And that's for everybody. When you succeed people's expectations of you, they're not going to like it. Period. And that's the easiest way to know who is really for you and who is really not for you. When you reach certain goals in life, look at the people that's clapping for you and look at the people that's missing or the people that's trying to, minimize it or degrade it. That's how you know who really for you and who's really not for you. And so I feel like that's the issue with NeNe, is that NeNe is NeNe and people didn't expect her to be who she is, and that's why they have issues with her. So you guys tell me how you feel about everything that I said and everything that you see that's going on with the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.